Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So ultimately, I want to start with this chart from Credible Crypto. We've talked about this in the past a little bit, but this is a very exciting chart simply because, we are missing the wave 5 on Bitcoin essentially. We still are missing a major corrective wave, which it looks like we are getting that at the current moment in time on Bitcoin. We just hear, while we have gone lower than expected in terms of price, macro invalidation hasn't been hit 14K, and time-wise, we are still right on track for a fifth wave, despite what it may seem. Time-wise, wave 4 correction is proportional to third wave, just as wave 2 was to first wave. And here you guys have Bitcoin. Now, of course, Moon Lamo did make a few good questions over here, but we did see Credible actually respond to this and talk about it. But ultimately, this could be our future for crypto. We could see Bitcoin outreach to 120 plus K, possibly even 160K, like everyone was calling for back in 2021. The reasoning for this is simply because, one, we are nearing the bottoming point for crypto. The bear market time frame is usually about like 300 to 400 some days. November would essentially be our bottom in crypto. Could it still, work that way? 100%. I still have been taking a lot of positions. I still have been moving some funds around. I still do have quite a bit of stables, but it's not nearly as much as I had back in the beginning of this month, because I have been averaging in on almost every single major drop in this market. But ultimately, I do believe that we are seeing our, bottom prices, or near them at least. The reason why I say that is because when you look at Bitcoin, could we come down lower? 100%. But I think our bottom on Bitcoin, if we do go any more lower, would be roughly around like the 16K region anyways. So it's not much more downside from here on Bitcoin, and even in regards to altcoins too. I mean, most of this market for the longest time has been just kind of sitting stable, and most of the price action that we've seen in like the last couple months, for an example, have not only wiped out massive amounts of money, but massive amounts of individuals that were invested into crypto as well. They started to leave, which we always see during a bear market. And honestly, some things have slowed down greatly. So we definitely are watching this chart. Is it a guarantee that we're going to go to 100K plus and, Bitcoin's not going down at 8K, 10K, 12K, 14? No, it's not. We don't know what's going to happen next. This is why I don't try to time bottoms. This is why I don't try to, call when the bottom's there. To me, I believe that the bottom is there, but again, I could easily be wrong. Nobody knows for certain what's going to happen next. We just take our positions, we de-risk when we have to, and we still hold stables on the sidelines just for buying purposes. But also, I want to share with you guys a few things happening around the library case. So the library case is one that we have been watching for simply because it is very similar to the XRP case, and shout out to Digital Asset Investor for this video. But this is a big catalyst going forward into October. Listen closely to this.
The library has been fighting the SEC for coming up on 5 years.
So he's saying that library has been fighting the SEC for about 5 years, and the next part of this is very important.
We have mutually filed for summary judgment in the federal court in New Hampshire, and the judge said he was going to rule by 3 days ago. And he has to rule by October 3rd or the trial starts, okay? So literally over the next couple of days, maybe I'll be back in the booth if it comes out, we could see that come out. And this is a big case. I don't know how much detail you want to get into, but the facts in this case will apply to basically every company in this room. So it's going to affect a lot of companies. Wow. Yeah. So it's a big deal. And, the SEC has very much demonstrated that they are out to damage or destroy the cryptocurrency industry in the United States.
And again, the library case is very, very similar to the XRP case. A big win for library is a big win for the entire industry. So we are watching these dates closely. And if you guys didn't catch that, I'll play it back one last time just so that you guys can get the date.
See that come out. And this is a big case. I don't know how much detail you want to get into, but the facts in this case will apply to basically every company in this room. So it's going to affect a lot of companies. Okay? So literally over the next couple of days, maybe I'll be back in the booth if it comes out, we could see that come out. And this is a big case. I don't know how much detail you want to get into.
But I think it was actually earlier on in the video. I apologize.
The judge said he was going to rule by 3 days ago. And he has to rule by October 3rd.
By October 3rd. So October 3rd is the big day. You know, that's what we are watching for. That's what we are waiting for on the library case. But we are also focused on some big things happening around the world, especially around the IMF, the World Economic Forum. We are looking at things unfolding rapidly around a US CBDC. But listen closely to this video as well. It's about 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. Ripple XRP, fam. This public platform she speaks of could easily be the XRP ledger. The interoperability of it is what the world needs. XRP and the XRP ledger fixes all of this. The managing director of the International Monetary Fund. Now, I just want you guys to understand that interoperability probably won't be utilized over DLT specifically, because that would incur that almost every single bank will have to be utilizing the XRP ledger, or I should say every bank will have to be utilizing the XRP ledger. But that's not the case. We're going to have something like Quant be ushered in for interoperability.
Yet have is international settlement based on CBDCs.
Right.
CBDCs are not yet internationalized. But this is where the potential to cut cost of remittances is. Today, on average, 6.3%. So you are a worker and you want to send money to your family in euros, in dollars. 6.3% is the cut of the intermediary. And obviously, this is an opportunity for advancement, to use technology to make advancements. Where is the difficulty? The difficulty is that today, monetary policy in a country, or as it is the case in the Eurozone, within the Eurozone, is defined by the central bank, the Fed, the European Central Bank. And this monetary policy applies to the territory, the jurisdiction. How could central bank digital currency cross borders and go into another jurisdiction? Would that create a risk of currency substitution? So everybody says, I want ECB's CBDC. I want the euro. And these are unresolved issues, but it doesn't mean they cannot be resolved. This is why, from the fund, we are advocating to think about this world of digital money as a global public good. And in a recent discussion in Zurich, where we both were, what we advocated for is to have a public platform.
Now, I'm going to stop her here. We don't really need to listen to the rest, but what I will say here is that this public platform will be open. Why does this matter? Well, first off, I want to say this. We are seeing a big move around the euro, aka the CBDC euro. And we do see down here, like, we need banks as intermediate between money and investments. It is, you know, at the end of the day, a platform that will basically be built out on a DLT. Now, the biggest problem here is that it's not going to be a one-size-fits-all approach. There's going to be multiple, you know, DLTs. There's going to be multiple CBDCs, but this entire platform will be interconnected. That's why I do believe that Overledger network is actually going to be pretty large. That's what we talk about with Quant. But also, even the ECB says that, you know, they're also looking at cryptocurrencies, and they will essentially lose their overall position in regards to the banking sector to crypto unless they start to move rapidly around adopting in crypto. Listen to this video. It's about 1 minute long, and it speaks volumes.
Where do we stand? We central bankers, we have been operating as a monetary anchor in relation to the commercial banks and the private money. If we are not in that game, if we are not involved in experimenting, in innovating in terms of digital central bank money, we risk losing the role of anchor that we have played for many, many decades. And we have historical examples of period where the central bank monetary anchor was not there, And that precipitated crisis after crisis. That certainly was the case at the time of the free banking in the 19th century. Do we want to go back to those days? Probably not. I would say certainly not from our vantage point, as a result of which we have to respond to the demand for those digital payments in order to maintain the role of anchor that we have been playing regularly.
And honestly, I think that the idea around banking with cryptocurrencies is extremely flawed. We've actually discussed this quite a bit in the past around CBDCs as well. We could benefit greatly from central bankers basically being non-existent, as we actually do see a response down here. But it's also the idea that they need to adopt crypto in order to actually not only remain this major giant around the banking sector, but also they need to adopt in crypto to make the banking sector more efficient. This technology is too great to ignore. Will XRP be the one-size-fits-all approach? Not necessarily. We've talked about this many times before. It just doesn't make sense to have, that one currency to roll them all. I think that is actually very illogical to think of. I mean, like, all of these major DLTs have great efficiencies by themselves. XRP is not the superior, token of all of them. It does have great efficiencies, though, and I do think that on-demand liquidity is a massive stepping stone, and I think that it will play a vital role, and I do think that XRP will provide a hand in some massive opportunity ways. But when we look at what the ECB the ECB is saying here, it's just the idea that they will cease to exist if crypto continues to grow the way it is, and basically these major central banks not doing anything about it, aka adopting in this technology, which I've even said around Swift as well. Now, talking about CBDCs and talking about crypto technology, we do see over here, just in, Fed Chair Jerome Powell says there's a real need to better regulate cryptocurrency. And the funny thing is about this is that regulations will be ushered in. They will be streamlined. Why? It's because the idea that if you don't have cryptocurrency, first off, I'm just going to say it right now. Without cryptocurrency, the entire monetary system, in regards to a digitized opportunity, will fall greatly behind. There will be major consequences for them to not adopt in crypto. Everything is moving faster than ever before, technologically. Phones, TVs, all the electronics that we talk about, that we have in our house, everything's moving extremely fast. Why wouldn't finance and the banking sector move just as fast? It's built on inefficient payment rails. Having something like crypto powering the core of the financial system will be extremely huge as an efficient way of means, to fully revolutionize these inefficient payment rails and streamline us into the future of finance. And I do think that it starts with, crypto. I mean, you could argue that it's going to be CBDCs as well. For an example, we do see here US CBDC won't be anonymous, says Fed Chair Jerome Powell. And then they do also mention various other nations that are exploring CBDCs. They do mention all of them down here, like Iran, Jamaica, Mexico, Europe, Australia, and even the US. They're silently planning the possibility of launching a CBDC. Now it's getting the attention from the US Fed. I think that we are going to be seeing a major push here. Interoperability is a big key part of all of this, which kind of takes me back to quant. But again, when we really kind of look at things happening around the monetary system, we are seeing a full-on collapse, which plays right into the major steps to a full-on CBDC-driven system. Now, how will crypto play a role here? Well, we look at the XRP ledger, we take a look at Hedera. All of these major DLTs will play a vital role as being a CBDC issuance system. A lot of people might be saying right now, there's no way, they're going to issue out on a public ledger. They don't need to. These DLTs are public and private, meaning these DLTs offer a private issuance system for these central banks to not only issue a central bank digital currency, but also to control the central bank digital currency in regards to supply, in regards to demand, whatever the case may be. This is why I've always said that DLT will play a vital role in the future of the financial system. Do I think that XRP Ledger will as well? 100%. And if you guys do want to know my insight on that, you guys are more than welcome to go check out my video from yesterday with over $250 trillion worth of disruptions from XRP side. This is a massive opportunity. This is a huge opportunity as well. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As is up to you all, have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.